For the past months, it's been a trend in the 3D space to take older stylized games and making them realistic. But today, I thought it'd be funny if someone would make it the other way around. So what I'm gonna do is take a more or less realistic game like CSGO and make it stylized. Specifically the A spot of Dust 2. And I'm gonna do it in only 7 days. Like with every project, the first thing I needed was a blockout of the scene. And you know, I was getting ready to manually place all the cubes after the reference images I took. But then I went onto the internet and I luckily found a free download of the old version of Dust 2, which has almost the exact same layout as the new one. So I could simply trace this model and get a perfect blockout in a matter of no time. I also made that first building on day one, which took way too long, especially the texturing and substance painter, because I was trying a lot of different styles and trying to get the right stylizedness. But this was extremely important because the first building dictated how the other buildings are gonna look. So for the next few days, my life outside of school pretty much only consisted of modeling and texturing buildings, like this hotel right here, where I very subtly placed the Polyram logo as a little Easter egg. To keep the style consistent throughout the scene, instead of texturing all the buildings from scratch, I used something called smart materials. These basically allow you to save materials which you've made and then simply drag and drop them onto a different model. And with that I used the same wall material for all the buildings, only slightly adjusting the color and painting those holes. On day 5 the buildings were finally done and I could start focusing on the ground. Again, I used the same wall material, but I also made a cobblestone and a road texture, and I created a sand texture, which main purpose is to blend the ground and the walls together. Throughout the whole project, I tried to work a lot with normal maps instead of geometry, which helps a bit keeping the scene running smooth. With 2 days left, I went on creating the smaller objects, like baskets, barrels, boxes, crates and sunshades. I also noticed that the background was too empty and there needed to be buildings there, and so I sat down and created a few new buildings from scratch. Of course I was way too lazy to create all these buildings from scratch, so I just duplicated the ones I already had and slightly changed them up. So it was the final day and one crucial thing was still missing to make the scene feel alive. It was of course the plants. For the trees I just used the palm tree, which I made for one of my first videos on this channel, which I was still pretty happy with. Then I also made this smaller plant, and for the ivy I used the ivy generator add-on, which took also a bit of time because I've never really used it, but it was pretty straightforward. Now for the finishing touches I added some volumetric fog and animated some sick shots. Thanks for watching this video to the very end. I hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.